Hello, my friends, and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sana, mrs.perfectly.imperfect.keto, where being perfect is overrated and being imperfect is appreciated. So if this is truly the first time you are seeing my face, I hope the content and the discussion that you see here inspires you to like and to subscribe. I would love to have you along. And if you are new, definitely drop me a comment and tell me that you are new, and also share a little bit about your journey. I would definitely love to hear your story as well. So today is Tuesday. It is July 18th. As you all can see, I'm not in the kitchen. I am in the office room / guest room. I am simply just kind of about to eat something. It is Tuesday, July 18th. So as I mentioned the other day, I did have someone that came and installed some hardwire internet for my new employer that's going to start on Monday. So it's definitely crunch time at this point. So I do have to go through some final steps of setting up the internet on the PC with them. So I have to call a dedicated line that they have. Even if someone is tech savvy like myself, they still require everyone goes through the same protocol of calling into their internet line. So that's why I just have to go through basically what steps they require. So I'm going to go in with my first meal. So right here, I simply just have, and you all know I am part of the Waste Not Want Not Club. So we actually had 2 leftover New York strip steaks. So simply this is just one of them that I sliced up. I sauteed it in some ghee in a nonstick skillet, and I scrambled in 3 eggs to kind of give them a soft scramble. And what you see here, that ooey gooey goodness, is simply just 1 ounce of sliced extra sharp cheddar. And that ended up being 2 slices of cheese. So as you can see, that definitely is substantial when it comes to the cheese. So anyone that feels like they need to reduce the amount of dairy that they're having, start measuring. You know, I definitely stepped away from tracking and all of that, but when it comes to the dairy, that is simply what I do track, only because I don't want to have too much of a good thing and have it cause me any sort of hindrance. I basically been doing really well keeping that hindrance under control when it comes to having just 1 ounce per meal, because currently right now I am doing 2 MAD. And as you can see, having 1 ounce in this meal is definitely substantial. So I definitely encourage anyone, measure out. If you have a food scale, see what 1 ounce looks like. And I think you'll really surprise yourself at how far just a 1 ounce serving truly does go. So I definitely went ahead and salted it all with some Redmond salt. So that's what I'm going to go in with for this first meal. And I'm going to just get to it. That way I can go ahead and call this internet line and get that also taken care of and out the way. So with this being Tuesday, we will have something that's going to be somewhat of a Tex-Mex later on. That way I can basically have something for my carnivore way of eating, and then my family that is keto, they can also have something that is somewhat Tex-Mex, a Taco Tuesday kind of inspo. So stay tuned for dinner later on. So nights like tonight, I definitely appreciate leftovers. I literally have been on the phone most of my evening and sitting at the desk, kind of just getting all of the computer, all the setups and everything completed on the work computer. That way everything is just simply updated and ready to go come Monday, my first day. So I simply just used up the last remaining New York strip steak that we have. I simply just sauteed it in some ghee just like I did earlier, salted it again with some Redmond salt, and I just went in with just several eggs on the side scrambled, and just threw 1 ounce of extra sharp cheddar melted on top. But that's what I'm going to go in with for this 2 days nights meal. And I'm so appreciative for leftovers. As I always say, I'm definitely part of the Waste Not Want Not Club. And those leftovers, they really do come in clutch when it comes to having this type of time crunch and this type of delay when it came to preparing dinner. So I am definitely here for it and going to dive in and enjoy. Hello, my friends, and happy Wednesday. It is currently right now around 2:15-ish p.m. and I already made my kids their first meal for the day, and because they have been keto for over 4 years now, so it was really easy for me to kind of go in with kind of what I was giving them. So simply what I did was the cream cheese waffles that I make, and it's the ratio 1-to-1. So 1 ounce of cream cheese would simply be 1 egg. And say if you're doing a whole block of cream cheese, that would be 8 ounces, and you would utilize 8 eggs to make a whole big family batch of some waffles. So that's the ratio that I use for the recipe that I've been following for years now. If you are a little bit more lenient with your flavorings, you can definitely add any sort of extract like vanilla extract or any sort of flavoring you want to. So if you have like a flavored stevia, you can certainly add that. What I do is I do make a syrup for them, obviously with my carnivore way of eating currently right now. I am not incorporating the stevia, but for a really easy, clean syrup, what I do is I simply just melt some butter in a nonstick pot, and I simply just add just a little bit of stevia and a little bit of vanilla extract, and that makes a perfect clean syrup for them. So that is the way I do keto for my kids. I definitely know, every single ingredient that is going into that syrup versus the sugar-free syrups that you would purchase at the store. Are they convenient for some? Yes, absolutely. But then again, I try to kind of do the best that I can when it comes to the occasional waffles that they would have with some syrup. So for mine, simply I just have the cream cheese waffles, and I did do 2 over easy eggs, as I'm just going to sandwich it together, and I'm going to have that beautiful yolk that is going to act as what I'm going to have for my sauce, or if you will, my syrup, and just some red mint salt on each. So that's what I'm going to go in with for my first meal for this Wednesday. For my friends, for this Wednesday night's dinner, we are going in with some of the sirloin roast that I had showed you all on my grocery haul. We had purchased 2 roasts, and we simply just cut them down different ways to benefit for upcoming dinners. So because my husband was in the mood when he came home from work, he actually cut them both down. So we were able to benefit doing some for dinner, as you see, like a soup or like a stew, if you will. So simply, we just cut them up in cubes. I simply just threw it in the pressure cooker with about 8 cups of some water, and simply just salted with some red mint salt, and I let it pressure cook for 1 hour, and just added a dollop of some sour cream to just kind of enjoy it with, and it just makes a really nice creamy broth. So as you can see, it does have some nice, good, fatty pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in, and most definitely I think I will be having 2 bowls of this tonight because it is just that good. But this is just an example of how you can make those cheap big cuts work for you, and simply don't be intimidated by taking them home and cutting them down, because you definitely get a lot of bang for your buck, and you get a lot of meals out of a big piece of roast like that. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Hello, my friends. Happy Thursday. If you're kind of seeing a little bit of red in my hair, you do not have to adjust your screen because you're definitely seeing the red correctly. I had used a different brand of hair color. I actually came across a brand of hair color that was on sale. So I simply just wanted to test it out and experiment with it. It might really sound odd, as jet dark as my hair is, but I was actually born with red hair. So I know it's hard to believe. So I have to be really careful. The dark brown hair color brand that I choose because some way, somehow, it still activates with whatever still is remaining of the red hair that I was initially born with, because, you know, it did definitely darken as I got closer to 1 year old as a baby. But I wish I had a photo to show you all what that looks like. But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of my pictures from when I was a baby. That is like a whole other story that I'm definitely not going to get into now. But yeah, so that is the reason being why now I colored it a dark brown, but because of whatever was in, you know, this hair dye, it has brought out the redness. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it. I'm going to keep it as is because I definitely don't want to re-dye it so quickly and so initially. You know, I know people will say, you know, embrace your grays and all of that, but, you know, that is another form of self-love and self-care that I do, is to color my hair. You know, I used to go and get it professionally done when I was an office manager, because I definitely had to play the role and look the part of a medical office manager, especially the large practice that I was representing. I definitely needed to look a certain way when it came to just the professional appearance being upheld. So currently right now, it is 3:40-ish p.m. and I have not had a first meal. I just been basically drinking some water, and I did start yesterday. So I can tell you all, I had purchased Keto Chow Daily Minerals. This is not affiliated at all, as you all know. I am just kind of doing my own experimentation with just kind of different things, you know, whether it be spices or whether it be, you know, different reintroductions I'm doing with different cheeses. That also goes in regard to when it comes to these daily minerals. It is something I've wanted to experiment. So it actually came in the mail early yesterday. So I definitely had the advantage of starting it off early yesterday. So I'm able to gauge a proper 30 days worth. What I've been doing is, because they suggest 1 tablespoon of the daily minerals per serving. So for me, I've just kind of heard a lot of the reviews on just not only how salty it is, because the saltiness does not bother me. I've heavily salted throughout my whole keto journey using the Redmond salt. So I have a very high salt tolerance compared to my pre-keto days. And basically all of us in the family definitely do. I could even speak on behalf of our 6-year-old. He will literally take the little container of the Redmond salt, and if he was able to and allowed to, he would devour that entire container of salt. So that is how just good the Redmond salt, or, you know, our salt tolerance has gotten. It's just, we prefer heavily salted things now, because that is what our body is craving, and that is what our body is truly telling us that it is needing when it comes to the salt incorporation. But I did start just doing 1 teaspoon, and I'm doing it 3 times a day, because the reviews kind of mention that having that 1 tablespoon in simply just a serving of whatever liquid these people were having it with, whether it was coffee or tea or even in some water, they were not pleased with it. It just kind of was just an off-putting taste. So for me, I just felt like it was more beneficial to me, especially because this is something new to me, to also break it down. So I broke down that 1 tablespoon into 3 separate servings of 1 teaspoon each. And I've been doing it in 16 ounces of just some sparkling water. As you all know, I just use my SodaStream machine to just do the sparkling water. And that's what I've been doing. And for me, the taste, I mean, do I taste a little bit of an unusual taste? Yes, but it's not anything unbearable to me. So I don't know for me if it's just simply a salt tolerance that I'm able to basically withstand, or if it's possibly just the sparkling water is masking a little bit of what is off-putting to some. But for me, it was not anything unbearable, is really what I'm trying to get down to saying. So that is how I'm going to consistently take it. Is I'm going to definitely continue with incorporating the Keto Chow Daily Minerals, and I am going to simply continue doing it in that manner. I'm going to do 3 1 teaspoons 3 times a day. That's going to equate to that 1 tablespoon. And I'm going to see if I notice any difference at all. So I started, as I said, yesterday. So I will definitely report in a whole 30 days to see if I've noticed any difference or any changes. So I'm excited to update you all on that, to see if possibly I notice any positive changes or any negative changes for that matter. So I would be excited to share that information with you all if anyone at all was interested in incorporating any daily minerals, especially the Keto Chow Daily Minerals. So I don't have a meal to report to you all because I am simply just not hungry at all. So starting off with that information about the Keto Chow Daily Minerals, I simply only went in so far with my first serving of that 1 teaspoon in some sparkling water. I did consistently have some water throughout the day, kind of just as I got thirsty. So I don't keep to a particular schedule to kind of force in water consumption. I just drink to thirst is really what I do. I don't have, any obsession to get a certain amount of water in per day. So I literally just follow the berry method. I drink to thirst is truly what I do. And that is what works for me as well. So I'm not hungry as of right now. So as I mentioned, I try to do 2MAD only because that is really what works best for me. But then again, my fasting method is most definitely listening to my body and just not eating if I am not hungry, because I definitely can allow every kind of excuse, whether it be boredom, whether it be, say, for example, if I let, the nerves of my new job starting on Monday, if I let it get the best of me, I can definitely eat for those reasons and for those excuses. But for me, no, I am truly not hungry. Thankfully, I feel truly blessed that I am able to truly listen to my body. I was able to heal from mental health problems that I was going through, which definitely absolutely helps to be in tune with my true hunger cues and to not to succumb to simply just eating just to eat based off on feelings. So I am not eating just as of now. So I'm not hungry, as I said. and we're probably gonna possibly go grocery shopping. So I'm gonna see, because I have not defrosted anything. So that is definitely telling of how not hungry I am, because I have not even took out any meat to defrost. So I'm gonna see if there's possibly something quick and easy that's gonna be for tonight's dinner. And I'm just gonna make sure that, as always, I would just eat until I am comfortably stuffed and not have the mentality to feel like I have to make up for a meal missed. I'm going to still yet listen to my body and not let any diet or fad diet mentalities get the best of me. So today I definitely had some stuff to keep me busy. I had to complete and finish up everything when it came to the work computer installation. Thankfully, I got the message today from Windows that everything is complete as far as the installation. I don't even want to tell you guys the peek that I took at my email, because it is unreal how many emails I have already. And we are not even speaking on behalf of emails that involve just new hire standard emails. I am talking about like emails that involve work. So yeah. So that is why I'm saying I don't let any feelings or emotions basically dictate whether or not I'm going to eat. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. We cannot let the food control us, because I'm just a strong believer in, what will be will be. So why are we going to eat those feelings? Why are we going to eat those emotions? We should more so focus on the mentality and the positive actions that we're going to do and take to not allow those foods or those emotions to control us. So I will update you all as far as what I possibly found at the store that was an easy peasy kind of something we can cook up for dinner that does not require any defrosting, of course. And I will update you all on that later on. My friends, so for this Thursday night's meal, I was not exceptionally hungry. I can definitely tell you my lady time of the month showed up today. So because of that, probably could be the reason being why I have not had much of an appetite today. So it's not anything uncomfortable or irritable. I really hardly don't really have an appetite, but I definitely want to eat something because I'm still in my healing phase, especially being post that hospital visit I had in May. I'm still trying to get something in, but not forcefully eat either. So I definitely feel like I could eat something, but just not a large quantity. So we went to Aldi, and we also had gone to Walmart. So while I was at Walmart, I just picked up some of the beef pastrami. As you guys see, I don't do deli meat often, but for me, it is definitely not something that I'm going to make an objection about either. Because I still consider it is definitely pretty clean compared to what we could be choosing when we're out and about. So I had some slices while we were in the car, shared some with the family as well, and I have about 4 slices left over. So I just had the deli attendant cut it kind of on the thin side a little bit, kind of, I would say, a little thicker than sandwich style. And I'm just having it with 2 pieces of some Colby Jack cheese. That way I can still stay within about that 1 ounce for the cheese that I'm trying to stay within, even though I'm simply just having just 1 meal today. So this is simply all I'm going to go in with for tonight. So that would cover me for my meal for this Thursday. Hello, my friends, and happy Friday. It is almost about 1:30 p.m. and I'm going to go in with my first meal. I am definitely ready for some food. I do not feel ravenous going in with just that pastrami the other day with a little bit of the cheese. I am not feeling ravenous. I simply just listened to my body, and that is all my body wanted. And currently right now I'm kind of breaking my fast almost close to when I normally would get my first meal in. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great today. So simply I'm going in with 2 plain egg white wraps. I toasted them and kind of crisped them up a little bit in a nonstick skillet with some butter. And I have 2 of the Aldi frozen burger patties. It's a 75-25 ratio, and also some feta cheese. I have 1.5 ounces. So as you can see, it is definitely a substantial amount at just 1.5 ounces. So that is what I'm saying. When it comes to being careful with the cheese, I'm still getting a good substantial amount in when I track about the 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces. This is still a really good filling amount, and I don't want to overdo it for this meal because we are going to have a really cheese heavy dinner that I'm going to be doing. So this is definitely going to do me for this first meal. I'm here for it because it is super simple and something quick and easy to put together. As I tell you all, I like to keep things quick, simple, and easy, and that is how it helps me stay accountable and helps me keep on track, because I do not overcomplicate this when it comes to my family still remaining keto, as well as myself doing the carnivore way of eating. You all, I wanted to include this as well because I was just so shocked. So as you all know, I have a new job that I am starting on Monday, and I was very selective this time around with choosing who my new employer is going to be. Because of that NDA I signed, I cannot say who the company is, but I was so shocked and so just overjoyed because it's kind of like I got my confirmation with this package that I received today that I basically made the right decision by not only praying that the new employment I was going to get, not only was it going to be financially rewarding and, more than I could ever ask for, but I also prayed for the environment because I was in such a previous toxic environment. So I prayed not only for the financial aspect, but I prayed even more for the environment being one that I can truly be happy and have peace of mind and truly have a professional work environment. So best believe I was overjoyed when I got some merchandise from them, and I thought that this was a package that simply came because a lot of times companies would send new packages, like a welcome package to new employees, but no, this was something that they sent out for this month simply as just an appreciation month that they were extending to their employees. So I'm going to show some of the merchandise. I'm going to just be careful because some of it, they have it branded with their information on it. And I definitely want to make sure I'm adhering to that NDA they had me sign. But here they sent me one of those ball type of lip balms, which was really cute. And they had sent me a suntan lotion that has the little hook on it for like a handbag or a beach bag. And they sent this ginormous, oversized beach towel. So let me see if I can find the tag, because I know there was a tag somewhere here, but it is so funny because we had actually looked at these huge oversized beach towels at Sam's Club, and this is the beach towel. So it's a Member's Mark and it says Summer Breeze on it. So this is the exact towel that this is. And as you can see, it has Member's Mark, 6 feet, oversized beach towel. But this was so just generous and nice for them to send. So as you can see, it is huge and it's long. But simply what they did was they said beach day. They have their company name and it says employee beach day packing list. We appreciate all you do. And it just shows from the management team and just has the items that they included for this beach day appreciation. So when I emailed my manager to extend a thank you to the management team, she is the one that had told me that even though I am starting on Monday, they wanted to make sure to include me in this month's appreciation. So for me, that just, it spoke volumes, because they definitely did not have to, and we are definitely at the tail end of this month of July. So they didn't have to do this, but the fact that they made sure to include me meant a lot to me. It meant so much, and I wanted to share it with you all because, you know, it's exactly what I had mentioned to you all before. We have to kind of take steps for our emotional and mental health well-being on every place we are in life, you know, whether it be our health journey, whether it be our career. We have to make sure that, yes, you know, we want to take care of the financial aspect. You know, I truly get it. You know, if any family probably gets having to do a job for the sake of livelihood, for the sake of financial, trust me, I'm sure you guys would never imagine the amount of different odd jobs that I did, especially for my years in college. The amount of odd jobs that I did. You probably would be shocked that I did some jobs, but I have pretty much done a lot out there for only being a year away from 40 years old. So when I tell you, I truly get it, but we have to also understand we just have this one life to live here on this land. So we have to make sure that we're trying and doing the best that we can to make sure that every aspect of that can benefit our better health goals. And when I was at that horrible toxic job, was it definitely paying for the bills? Was it definitely allowing us to have, you know, pleasurable times because the income was really good? Yes, it most definitely was. But look, now I'm in a position where I have the feeling of appreciation, and I've not even started day one. And the financial aspect is going to be even better than what I had left. So a lot of times you hear the notion that the grass is not always greener on the other side, but how do you know unless you see what that other side looks like? You know, a lot of times we have to just kind of take a chance. And that's what we do with this better health goal as well. We never knew if keto was going to work for us. We don't know if carnivore is going to work for us. We have to see and experiment to see whether or not it's going to be a good fit for us. And that is the same thing when it comes to any other aspect of life. So I just wanted to be able to share this with you all because, you know, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, call you all my friends, and I truly wholeheartedly mean that. So I wanted to share this part of my day with you all because it meant so much to me, and I wanted to be able to kind of just share this gratitude that I have in this moment with you all. My friends, to wrap out this Friday, I am going in with some chicken crust pizza. So this, we kind of did it like a cheeseburger style pizza because we do have the chicken crust here at the bottom. And simply what I did was I made a cheesy sauce with that Colby block that I would have showed you all in my shopping vlog that I had in mind for a recipe idea in that Aldi shopping trip. So I simply just made the sauce with some Colby shredded cheese. I shredded the cheese myself straight from the block, added a little bit of garlic powder, and simply just put in some heavy whipping cream. I did not measure the heavy whipping cream. I kind of just added just a little bit, so I want to say it was probably about 2 tablespoons if I wanted to kind of guesstimate how much was used, but definitely use how much you want depending on what texture you like for your sauce. So this is what we basically have here. I could show you all, this is the actual raw crust. I'm actually going in with doing 2. When I make this recipe, I like to try to make 2 pizzas because sometimes, if anyone wants to go in for additional seconds and surpass the 8 slices in one pie, we definitely have the second on backup. But this is what it looks like. I do have seasoning in the crust, so what you're seeing there is specks of parsley. Don't come for me about the parsley. As I always say, do you for your journey, for what your irritations or hindrances might be. Definitely do you and stay away if parsley is something that hinders you or triggers you at all. I'm going to do me. So parsley and garlic powder is what I went in with. And simply this is just half a cup of some grated Parmesan cheese. I would have showed the Parmesan block in my Aldi haul, and simply just 1 egg. So simply half a cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 pound of ground chicken, whatever seasoning choices you want to use, along with the 1 egg. I bake it at 425 degrees, and definitely test out your own oven with the crispiness you would like to see. For me, I go in between kind of a crispy and still yet not wanting to dry out the chicken. So for me, I go in with 20 minutes, kind of does the texture that I like. So I simply have the 75-25 burger patties. I did go in with 2 burger patties for each pizza pie. So simply you just see here what I'm going to top on this second pizza. And then for the topping for the cheese, I just went in with some mozzarella cheese and just simply did, half for each. So this would have been the whole block, the 8 ounce that I would have also showed on my Aldi shopping trip. So I simply just halved whatever I shredded for both pizzas out of that 8 ounce block. So this is what I'm going to go in with for this Friday night's meal. All right, my friends, so that wraps it up for part of this week's meals. I hope if you are new here, what you saw in this video inspires you and motivates you to like and subscribe. I would love to have you along for the journey. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Take care, friends, and have a wonderful weekend.